Hello guys and welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video we're going to talk about Expedite and some of the solutions that you could use right now without having no MC, DOT in order to get loads locally and be your own boss. So let's begin. So anyways, how would you actually accomplish such a task? Well, you guys live all over the country and this could be replicated for pretty much all of you guys that live all over the place. This will help you be closer with your family, make more money than you are making right now in Expedite, be a little bit more in control, put less mileage on your vehicle, which ultimately will lead you to less expenses, less breakdowns, less service, that you have to do, like tires, fluid changes, filter changes, because you're putting on less miles, but you're actually making more money. So does it sound too good to be true? It's actually not. The only thing is, of course, you're going to have to grow your business just like any business, but it's actually really easy to do. And if you actually want to stay profitable in business and you want to actually make deliveries because you did make this big investment and you bought yourself a van, and I'm not just saying this is going to work for sprinters. Whether you have a ProMaster or a Ford Transit, even a Chevrolet Express van, maybe even get a pickup truck. This is actually going to work for any one of you. And even small SUVs and things of that nature. More on SUVs and pickup trucks in another video. But here's what I'm going to actually tell you guys. Here's what you could do, and this is why it's going to work without having no MC or DOT. Basically, you're going to need to create yourself a website. That is one. So, I probably already have made a video on how to create a website. If I didn't, it's actually coming. So, wait a little bit on that one. Because most likely it's going to be this week. But basically, you need to have an online presence, some kind of website. Because if you are creating any kind of business, you're going to need to have a website. And because it gives face to your company, it is sort of like your business card, and it builds trust with your customers. So basically, how does this work exactly? So of course you're going to need to make some business cards as well, and you're going to have online presence. So anyways, if you have a Sprinter van, oh yeah, best part of all, you don't even have to have your $1 million liability and $100,000 cargo. That's right, guys. I just eliminated your expensive insurance, driving many miles, being away from your family, and being home with your family, working on your own terms, doing your own loads, doing what you want without having to have somebody else tell you what to do. And ultimately, it costing you less money to operate, but you make more in the end. I know, this sounds too good to be true for you guys, but it's not. It's really not. You could do this in any city or state where you live in, and it's absolutely gonna work. And here's why. There's not many people that probably even that even have a pickup truck or have like a van, especially a high top van. You don't have to have a high top, but high top is going to be important in any business that you go to, and the most length. Now, this what I'm talking about will actually require you to have at least one additional person. Like, you're gonna need some kind of helper, and that is if you cannot find a way to manage it yourself. However, I actually find ways to manage it myself. So in this particular video, we're going to focus specifically on getting your customers, and this is the way to do it. And I'm gonna have other videos to focus on other things too, because I have way more ideas than this. But this is going to be just primarily focused on furniture stores, electronic stores, IKEA stores. You guys know those big IKEA stores that opened up? That's right. They have a similar delivery service that actually helps people out. Now, you could actually do it a couple ways, and you're probably going to need to do both of these ways in the beginning. First of all, you're going to need to go to a IKEA store and you're going to say, listen, I'm in business. This is what I do. I have a van and I make deliveries. And if somebody buys a large object, like let's say like a couch or maybe like a table, And I'm just leaving those as an example. Obviously, those things are not going to fit in somebody else's car. As a matter of fact, a big screen TV like a 60-inch or maybe even 55, it's not going to fit in most vehicles. And yes, the TV itself out of the box probably will. But how many people go to like Best Buy and open up their TV right there in the parking lot just so they could put it in their car on the back seat or something? Obviously, they're gonna need to like have an SUV with folding seats to slide it in, and sometimes it's gonna work. But even in those cases, sometimes it doesn't. But good chance that if you have a pickup truck or you have like an SUV, that's gonna work. Not so much when it comes to trunks of regular cars. This is where you come in with your Sprinter van. This could be a Chevy Express van. Doesn't matter. Chevy Express. Why do I mention that? Short roof. That means 40 lines as well, and any other type of vans, including some family minivans. That could work for this as well. Plus, they're very fuel efficient. Now, here's what you're gonna need to do. Go to the stores that sell large items like Best Buy, Good and Rich, bunch of these other stores. I cannot even name all of them. I don't have them in my mind. I wasn't even planning. But you would need to go to IKEA stores, places like Ashley Furniture Home Stores, basically some kind of furniture outlet stores. You see like all kinds of them over there. But anyways, you guys get the point. Big items, they don't fit in people's cars. They need some kind of delivery service. And a lot of times, this is what's going to happen. Some of those furniture companies, they hire people like you that are in business for delivering, and they actually charge a customer delivery fee. A lot of times that's $300 delivery fee on their order, and they ask the customer, would you like us to deliver this furniture for you? And the person says yes, and they're like, we're charging $300 fee to deliver this. And the person does not say no. He's going to say, okay, can you just put this on my credit card? Altogether, I'm financing all this, living room set or whatever that they bought. Sure, no problem. They add it to the bill. At that time, the customer is really not thinking about this $300. So what's ultimately going to happen is this furniture store is going to need somebody like you to deliver that for them. So they're going to have a bunch of business cards. Some people they really trust and they use them all the time. They're going to give them a call. A lot of times, new people like you might come in there and you're going to start taking some of the business. So what are they going to do? They might do the same thing. You're kind of like bidding for a load. You sort of like get in there and you say, you know what? If, you sell something like, for instance, like one item, for instance, you could say like somebody bought like a table. Okay, I would charge $100 to deliver that. For instance, if that's going to be good for you, and you could say like a 50-mile radius, and then each additional mile, it's going to be like maybe like $1 per mile, if that's worth it for you, or you could actually choose your own. Be wise. Just think about these things. Think about how much it's going to cost a person to go rent a U-Haul truck, to go rent a Penske, or somebody like an Enterprise rent a truck. Go over there, price it out. Then you're gonna look and you're gonna say, you know what? For instance, and I'm just gonna be throwing these prices out. Let's say, for instance, you're gonna have U-Haul, and somebody gonna go to U-Haul and they're gonna see like a 40 line van over there, right? And they're gonna say, okay, U-Haul, how much can I rent this van for? They're like, yeah, $20 a day. But you know what? It's not $20 a day. It is $20 a day plus mileage. And yes, they're gonna, plus taxes, they're gonna include that in, and before you know it, you're looking at $100 bill. So that $20 per day quickly grows into $100. So you're gonna go like to a place like, for instance, like Home Depot or Lowe's. They're gonna have van rental. By the way, guys, if you don't have a van, this is what you could do as well. Whenever you get a customer. Now, Home Depot and Lowe's, they have vans and sometimes trucks for rent. And it costs $20 per hour. But if you say to them, can I rent it for 24 hours? They're going to say yes. Chances are they're going to charge you like 3 times as much. They're going to charge you like $60, but you could have it for 24 hours. A lot of times those mileages are unlimited, but make sure you check with Home Depot and Lowe's or, whatever. But I know one time, guys, I have rented a Home Depot truck, which was like a 350. And I needed to tow a Cadillac right to my home when I was living in Florida. And I said, you know what, I need to have like it for a day. because I was gonna drive out like 180 miles. And I said, is that unlimited mileage? They said yes, it was unlimited mileage. So I was able to go pick up my Cadillac, bring it home, return it back. I put some miles on it. I fueled it up. You have to always fuel it up when you bring it back, and that works. So it worked for me. So there you go, some ideas there. But so you're kind of thinking, all right, if somebody is smart and they're gonna rent it themselves, like they're gonna go to, and just keep in mind, they're gonna go to Home Depot, for instance. They're gonna say, you know what, I want a truck for a day, $60, for instance, right, plus taxes. Then think about it, they're gonna have to go there, pick up whatever furniture that they're picking up. That means it's wasting their time. Possibly they're going to be at work that day, and they can't really do it. They need to ask time off from work or somehow schedule this after work. They're still going to need to get a buddy to help them. Now it's going to cost them, like basically in fuel for them to do it, probably like another $20, because a lot of times those vans are not that fuel efficient. So they're gonna waste already like $80, and plus maybe they're gonna need to give their buddy $20. So there you go, $100 right there. So for somebody to be inconvenienced enough to actually go out of their way and actually deliver for themselves, if they don't have a van, could still cost them $100. So what you could do, you could charge $100 to $150, because hey, that's actually a pretty reasonable fee. Now, there's also, guys, believe me, I'm not speaking to you just like thinking, okay, like out of the blue. I was doing this, guys. I was doing this. So I'm giving you guys my notes here. I was actually doing this back in 2007 and 2008. I was working with one company locally that's all they did. I delivered stuff for them. They would negotiate. But I've seen on negotiation prices, it was pretty clear, because I was getting 60% and the company was getting 40%. Guys, some of those deals were pretty good. Especially when I would just go pick up one pallet that weighs like 3,000 pounds from, man, you're not even going to believe this. You guys know like a cable company, Time Warner? Well, a lot of times they have like these kind of like a bunch of advertising type of print that they, get made and stuff. And it's a big skid of them, and it's pretty heavy. I mean, it's going to maybe be like 800, 900 pounds, 2,000, 3,000 pounds, depending on what it is. Sometimes 2 skids, right? Guys, we would charge like per pound to deliver that stuff. Sometimes oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is gonna sound crazy. You're gonna be like wondering like, why am I not doing that? But I would sometimes deliver to Time Warner. Like I would drive, of course, like 10 miles to my location where I would pick it up, and I would charge like $900 to deliver for 5 miles. Yes, for 5 miles. And the company would take their 40% cut, and I would end up having like $450, $500 for that one delivery. And sometimes that's not the only delivery. Like those were actually easy. A skid gets loaded on, a skid gets taken off at the company. It was very, very simple. And that was, of course, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, there was other companies that I was also picking up for, like furniture stores, like I'm telling you. I was actually getting paid for those like $200 to $300. And here's why. I would actually need a helper because those tables were wicked heavy. But a lot of times you just need like you gotta need some dollies, like to roll on the floor, kind of like the 4-wheel dolly. And you're gonna need like a normal dolly to always have that with you. And you're gonna need some furniture wrap and stuff like that, because you don't want to damage anything in case, it's not like in boxes. But if it's in boxes, it's quite easy. Put it on like on a 4-wheel dolly with 2 people, and sprinters being low enough, you kind of like push it to a sprinter, lightly lift up one end, set it inside, push it in, and you could like lay it down, and you could deliver it. And then we charged a customer to bring it inside of the house. We charged for how many flights of stairs that they had. For each flight of stairs we charged. We charged for setup fees. These were all additional fees. This is why it was adding up. So the service to deliver must have been like 100, let's say like $150. Then we charge another $50 for stairs. Then we charge another $50 to $100 for setup fee. And people would pay. Because guys, not everybody is willing to assemble their own table. Like people like get intimidated, and a lot of times they don't get intimidated. They just make simply more money than you, and they much rather spend their time wisely working at something that they know how to do, and they're probably making like $100 at 10 minutes, And why would they want to go assemble that table or even go deliver? Like, that's actually taking money out of their pocket. You have to really think about these things. Like, a lot of times, you know, like when they used to say, like back in the day, like I remember this as far as 1996, they said, did you know Bill Gates, if he drops $1 million, you know, he don't pick it up. You know, like stupid jokes like that. And I say, why is that? Well, it costs him more money to pick it up. Like, you know, like he would make more money by the time, you know, he lifted. And it's true. And it's true. So you kind of have to think like that. Like somebody might be over there, a doctor or a lawyer, like he's making like a lot of money per hour, like $400, $500 an hour. Do you think he's going to be assembling a table that costs $100 to assemble? Heck no. He's going to say, I'm a doctor. I don't even have the tools to assemble that table. You know, you go on my operation table, I'll charge you $20,000, $30,000, $60,000, you know, for that operation. You know, look at what hospitals charge just to lay on their bed. So treat your van, I mean, that's a storage unit. If somebody's not taking that off your van, you're charging storage. Per each hour that it's sitting in there, per each day. Like, don't like get stuff in there and it just be like in there. Like, let's say somebody said, yeah, like pick this table up on Friday, but I want it Monday. You ought to work for Monday, Tuesday, no problem. Charge them storage fees. You're not working, you're getting paid. But, you know, that's how it is. Okay. So that being aside, let's go back to the stores. Try to negotiate these things yourself, because after all of these contracts were negotiated by the company that I was working for. They would call somebody up and say, hey, you know, would you like, you know, we could deliver it for you. We're a company, and they talk all big and stuff. And then they have somebody like a delivery boy like me with my Sprinter payment back in 2007. It was a brand new van. I'm paying all this insurance. They don't have to pay none of that. And I'm doing all the work, so they're getting like 40% cut. Like, what a good deal for them. So at that time, I was really new, and I really wasn't sure what I was doing yet, you know, and how to be efficient. So I was only making like $4,000 per month doing this stuff. So think about it. That was just my cut at 60%. Now, if I would have went on my own and I would negotiate these rates, I would have made all of the money. And if you think about it, like, look, you negotiate. Let's say you only win 50% of those bids. Guess what? That's the 50% you don't have to share with somebody else. That means it's like you work double. You know, that's the way you're supposed to look at things. Less work, but you're making more. And then the work actually will grow. So once the companies begin to trust you, let me tell you how to scale this up. You're going to go approach all the furniture stores out there as a businessman. And I recommend build a brand, guys. First of all, open up your company. Have a company name. Have a company logo. Have business cards. Have a website. Have a van. And don't just put magnet signs on it. Put a little wrap on it. I don't care if it's like this big, but make sure it's a sticker. Companies don't trust vans with magnets on it because magnets look temporary. Stickers, like a vinyl wrap, that's permanent. That's what you do. You're a big shot now. So you put that wrap on your van, even if it's just a logo of what you do on your door, maybe in the back of your van. Keep that in mind. So basically, you're going to go to the company and say, hey, I've been doing, like, listen, use your expediting expertise in business as a stepping stone for this business. Like, don't say like, oh, I'm just starting out. No, you're not. You've been in business for so many years, and you're looking to build more business, and you have clients all over the state, because you do. You delivered for big companies like Ford, GM. Name some big names that you delivered for and say, you know what, I'm looking to expand a little bit more locally into a local market and expand my company and grow. Like, you know, have like maybe like vans, other people that you could hire to do your work. Be a boss, be a company. And guess what? If you have to fake it until you make it, do that. That works. Yes, I heard it on TED Talks. But that does work. Fake it until you make it. Come in there acting like, you know, we're a company, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you just like tell them what you do. And I'm going to have a delivery guy here picking this stuff up, you know, like, whatever. Like, act like you're not the one that's doing the work. You got somebody that's doing it for you. Even though you're going to come in there and pick it up. It's you know, you could just always say like, yeah, you're short man, this, you know, like this, you know, today or whatever, somebody didn't show up and you're having to do the work, but it gives me a chance to be out of the office, you know, joke a little bit, smile a little bit, you know. These companies, they love that, you know, and I'm not saying to lie. Your whole business model is to grow a business, not to be doing the work yourself, right? I mean, that, like, what's the point of a business if you're basically getting a job? Getting a job that you actually have to now do 24/7, 7 days a week. Come on now, that's what we're doing. Like, when it comes to expedite, like, we basically got like a job. You know, it's our business, but it's a job with lots of expenses involved. Like, we could go work 40 hours a week for somebody, and you know, somebody tells us what to do and just ask for some overtime. Chances are you're going to be making more than a lot of these expediters are making, according to my calculation. By the way, we're going to be doing it here. I just haven't really got to it. Like, I am kind of busy. I'm not working, but I'm kind of busy working on videos, working on content for you guys. That's what I'm busy about. But anyways, let's continue. So you want to get in there as a boss, looking for business. Now you could choose a couple approaches. One of them, you could come in there as a, like, looking like you're a driver, like you're a delivery boy, kind of like you're from FedEx. Have your own like a uniform, like order your own uniform, like with colors and logos of your company. And I don't recommend coming in there with a business suit. Come in there looking casual. Wear a baseball cap, wear your uniform with a company logo. Go, like, even if you could just buy yourself one, like, go to like a professional uniform place, order yourself a uniform for like a shipping type of uniform, kind of like FedEx, UPS. You know, you want to brand yourself. Pick your own colors on there. And then go to the embroidery place and have a couple of those things embroidered. Like, my advice, buy yourself like 7 of these things. Well, like 5 of these things. 5 is going to be enough. Buy yourself 5 uniforms. 5 uniforms. But in the beginning, just buy one. Just buy one. But I'm saying, look, buy 5. And I know, like, I'm so contradictory. Buy 5, and here's why. You're going to get a discount probably for getting 5. And then when you're going to go to the embroidery, just go ahead and get yourself 5 uniforms ready. Now, I do recommend, you know, pick up maybe like a couple uniforms in your size. Let's say you're a medium, pick up like a couple mediums, pick up a couple large, maybe pick up a couple extra large, and now that's 6. But keep in mind, you're probably gonna have to hire a helper, and his size is gonna change. So have him wear a uniform. I don't know how many girls are willing to do this, but hey, maybe somebody will do it. But anyways, you're gonna need a tough guy. A lot of the stables are like 500 pounds, you know, or like 300 pounds. They're really heavy. So you're gonna need some strong help. And have your worker, like, don't like give them a uniform. Like, you could sell them a uniform, like take it out of the shed if that's a thing. Because yes, there's like uniform rentals. Like, he could be renting it from you, or you could sell it to him, or he could just use it from you, like, free of charge, but he's gonna have to return his uniform. Like, companies do it all sorts of ways, guys. I already did this, believe me, with the uniform thing. Now, with this company that I was working for, there wasn't no uniforms. It was like no uniforms. But I do think it's really professional if you do wear a uniform. Guys, you have to have a brand. You're gonna say, listen, you haven't probably, like, they're gonna say, we haven't seen you before, and that's because I have customers all over the country, and that's what I was doing all over the country. And now we're moving into a local market, and we just want to expand locally, you know. So you're gonna get in there with your uniform. Have like I would advise, just like have like those kind of like expediter, maybe like a silver type of you know, like what do you call them, like you write on it, you know, like that opens up and closes, notepad, but the one that opens up and closes, you know, so you could look extra professional. You got a pen in there, maybe you get a calculator, you know, it doesn't matter. It could be plastic, it could be kind of like a leather, depending on like the style you want. And maybe make up like some material, like with pricing, like do some slides on an iPad, maybe like put an iPad on there. I mean, if you want to be like extra professional, I mean, you could do this on your iPhone, like, doesn't matter. You could just like pull it out, like, yeah, this is what we do, this is our van, this is a logo. You could actually Photoshop logos onto your van. I do this all the time. If you want me to Photoshop some logos on your van, get me a logo. I don't care if it's not even a PNG file format. I will fix it. I will do that for you, but I'm gonna charge like $5 to do it. I mean, go on Fiverr.com. You could find somebody. They're probably gonna do it for $5. But hey, if you want me to do it, I could Photoshop a logo onto your van of your choosing. You know, just make sure you're gonna have some, you know, like kind of like a good angle. You know, like of your van. Like, I mean, just have it like a flat. That would be the easiest way to do it, because if you have to Photoshop like sideways, it might not look right. But I've done it both ways. You guys seen it on, you know, my van. So you can just Photoshop a logo on there, and it's gonna look legit, because you're gonna show to this company, like, this is our van. Like, you could build yourself like a PDF file format, like where you could open up your iBooks if you're on iPhone, and you could like flip through the pages. This is our price, and this is what we do. Here's what we're gonna do for you. If they choose you and stuff like that. So you could, it's sort of like having a flyer, you don't have to give them a flyer. I mean, you can if you want to, you could print those off, but a lot of times, like, we're dealing with emails now. It's like, hey, can I email you this? Yeah, sure, why not? Like, email a PDF to them. Like, they're probably gonna toss it in the trash anyways half of the time, so why spend the money printing them like a thing? But you're gonna need a business card, that's for sure. So in the beginning, you're gonna need to like save and cost. Like, you don't want to like really like get crazy and just print out a bunch of flyers, but print a business card. Think of everything you want to put on there, and I would not put the pricing on there on the business card. I have done it before. I don't think it's a good idea, because you're gonna order 5,000 business cards. Your prices may have changed by the time you grow your business a little bit, and now they're a little bit more expensive. Now like those things are useless. So don't put pricing. I've done that mistake. It's a mistake. A lot of times it's a promotional thing. You could give them out as, hey, listen, our pricing like this, but hey, we give you this. Like, you could use that as a promotional as well. But you want to look legit, and I think a lot of times what works is go to that company and say, listen, normally we charge $500 delivery, but since you're a new customer, if you're gonna choose us, we're gonna give you like $100 per delivery, blah blah blah, for so long, right? Like a couple months, and if you like, and you could stay with us, we're just gonna like bump it up to like $200, and that's because I gotta cover my staff and my delivery guys, and they're like $35 an hour. A lot of times the way it's done in moving is you charge like $50 an hour per guy that you have. So you're gonna say, listen, like you're gonna need to be smart. Like you could say, if I just need to hire one delivery guy to do the work, I gotta pay him $50 an hour. When you say that, you're not really paying him $50 an hour. You're paying him $15 an hour, and you're leaving yourself $35. So when you hire like 2 or 3 people, depending on how many people are gonna need to move something, that's what you charge, $50 an hour, and you just take and give them 15 and get yourself the other half, because you're the manager, you're the boss, like you're the company. You're not gonna want to say, yeah, I'm gonna take so much for myself and I'm gonna give them so much money. And you gotta think about it, like how much are you worth per hour? You're worth at least $50 an hour. I mean, mechanics are worth $150 an hour, so why you should worth any less? So I mean, you could have $150 per hour, so depending on what it is, how long it takes, by location, you could have all kinds of pricing. You could base it on a set fee. It starts off at 100, but make sure if you start yourself at 100, even to the guy, like right, you make sure you will leave yourself room for. You're gonna say that includes for instance, 20-mile radius. And then after that, it's $1 per mile each radius, and then you charge that's a flat fee delivery plus mileage. Then you're gonna charge for flight of stairs. Then you charge per each man that's working with you, kind of like $50 per each guy. That's gonna add up. So will you you're gonna look more professional doing that, and chances are you're gonna actually get work doing that. But be fair, don't charge ridiculous prices. But you can be charging anywhere from $100 to $300 for those deliveries. So that's why you want to bump your price up to $500, and then you say, listen, but we're gonna actually. We charge, for instance, keep in mind, we charge $500 for a delivery fee, and I know that's too much as a whole, but we could charge you 100 and we charge normal $150 just for the delivery, then so much per mile, then here's what we charge for the man, $50 an hour. But for you, we're gonna charge you $35 an hour for each helper that I get, and we're gonna charge instead of $150 per a set delivery fee, $100. Then per mileage, you're gonna have to leave that at $1. Don't charge any less than that. Don't give them any ideas. And there's other things there's shop supplies, for instance, like shops use shop supplies. There's a lot of hidden fees. You could also charge per weight. You're gonna say if the weight is within 1,000 pounds or 500 pounds, it is, or so much pound. You could do all kinds of things, guys. I'm gonna get into it more in other videos and stuff, but you could get really creative with it and really think about it. The more weight you get, the more pay you get. Or the longer you work, how many hours you could charge per hours or you could charge a set fee. You know, choose what's it gonna be. Not every situation they're gonna know the exact weight. You're not gonna know what the weight is, but sometimes you will. Like if you're getting a pallet in there, you know what the weight is. You're getting out of the warehouse. So the Time Warner stuff, that was actually according to weight. That's what we charge. Weight. That's why it costs them so much. I mean, let's say it's like 900 pounds, $1 per pound. That's $900. You know, maybe it was 50 cents a pound. You know, 2,000 pounds. That's $900. You know, there you go. Like, it adds up kind of quickly. So it's something looks like, oh yeah, we're charging just 50 cents a pound. They're thinking, yeah, small box, no problem. Yeah, but that's going to add up. So I'm going to give you like one other clue. There's a lot of custom cabinetry shops. I delivered for one. I know. So my company has asked me, can you come up with the pricing? Because they notice I'm a little bit professional. Like, even though I was young in the business, I knew what I was doing. Like, as far as like my work, I knew what I needed to make. So they said, listen, we have this one customer. He's a custom cabinetry type of business. Everybody that we send down there, he declines. He says no, like nobody's right for him. Can you see if you could get his business? And I'm like, what do you want me to do? They said, well, can you figure out like the pricing, like what should we charge him, because he's got like cabinets and he's got crown moldings, he's got like all kinds of trim and doors and stuff like that. So I said, sure, why not? So I went to the custom cabinetry guy. He was actually really nice, and I met him, you know, blah, blah, and you know, I talked to him, and immediately he was like, hey, can you work with me directly? And to basically eliminate the company, because he wasn't really fond of the company for some reason. They said they keep sending me the wrong people, and he's like, wow, and you're just like what I'm looking for, you know. And I said, I'm sorry, you know, the only way I know you is through the company. I can't cut him out of the business, and you know, he understood, but he really still wanted to work directly with me. So here's what I did. I actually said, okay, what kind of stuff do you want delivered? So I said, let's think of a fair pricing. So I said, okay, you have doors that's this size, right? I said, you know, how would you feel if I charge you like $1.50 for that door? He's like, yeah, per door, $1.50. No problem. So this larger door, what about $3? This larger door, what about $7? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we get the doors out of the way. So what if I charge you $15 per each cabinet, per this little cabinet, you know? And you might say, okay, well, these little ones, you know, can you charge me like $7 for them? Can you charge me, you know, like $10? And I would negotiate. I wasn't like firm on pricing. I'm like, okay, but this larger one here, like for instance, like a base cabinet, can I charge you, you know, $20 for that? Okay, sure. Because listen, he needed like special care. He needed everything to be wrapped. Because it's custom cabinetry place, you don't want to scratch nothing, you don't want to break nothing. Plus, keep in mind, I have to load each piece on there very carefully. I needed to wrap each individual piece. I needed to deliver and drive it to a builder, like where the builder are building these houses on the lake. These houses are worth $1 million. These are $50,000 kitchens, $30,000 kitchens, you know. So yeah, like, you know, I would charge seriously like $900 per those loads. And he knew that, and he's like, man, I want to pay you that like just up front, like just for me. But unfortunately, I had to take my losses, and I gave 40% to the company, and I get 60. But I'm doing all the work. So like if it's 2 stories, like I'm going up the stairs with all of his cabinets. I would be, you know, sometimes it's in a dolly, sometimes I have to carry them physically. And as I was loading these cabinets, I would actually put large cabinet, right? And very careful, because they would not have doors in the beginning, because those would be painted separately and shipped separately. So a lot of times it's just a full van of cabinets. So I was smart about it. So instead of just like delivering like each individual cabinets, and I ran out of room, because he would have sometimes 30, 50 cabinets to deliver. And I would actually load like big ones first, and I would put the smallest one inside, and then the smaller one inside. Kind of like I use up all the space wisely. And with the cabinets, it was fine. Like it wasn't like it was not a problem for them to be a little bit touching each other, like for them to be wrapped and stuff. You just want to make sure you're not going to break stuff when you're going to load it. So I would load up my whole van, and he noticed how I take care of all his stuff. So he was really pleased with me, and I worked with him till actually this guy went out, you know, he upgraded himself. Like he, his father was the owner of the like huge, like biggest cabinetry place in Charlotte, and he wanted to give a business to his sons, so he closed out shop, and he basically moved up to even being a bigger boss for like a big company. But by that time, I was already doing expedite, so he wanted to work with me then. but he says, can you like do it with a box truck now? There's a lot more loads. I can. He's like, yeah, like what we do is we normally rent a box truck and they have their own people load it, like their own people. So they're now like have to remove them from getting paid for what they do. So that now they could be the loading people and then they deliver it. And that means their clock keeps going and now they're, you know, delivering it to some house and that's more time lost. Guys, you have to think about all these things. All these people getting paid, now they're not producing what needs to be produced inside of the plant. That means they might be behind now, all that kind of stuff. So all of these things that you have to look into account, like they're paying per hour, which is little compared to how much money they're not making them now because they're not producing those cabinets or doors or stuff like that. So they much rather pay a delivery guy that does this all the time, that's going to do what he wants. He's going to, you know, deliver it and you don't have to worry about, you know, how long it takes and it being done the right way. So that's the thing. There's so much business out there, guys. And right now, the real estate market is booming. A lot of construction is going on. Chances are you could be delivering a lot of stuff for a lot of people, like probably even like builders and stuff. You could deliver supplies because even builders, like if you think about it, like it takes a lot of time like to get those supplies. You might like sometimes maybe do some shopping for a builder. Like he might need so many 2x4s, so many 2x6s. He might need windows and doors. He's gonna need that stuff bought and delivered. Or maybe he already bought it. He called like Home Depot or something or Lowe's and say, hey, listen, you know, this is what we want. Can you put that order aside for them? And big builders like that, and they're important clients. So what Home Depot's gonna do? They're gonna get all that stuff, set it aside, sometimes in the front. A lot of times that stuff is on pallets, and a delivery guy will come and he's gonna pick up all that stuff, and a lot of times that stuff is getting loaded with a forklift. And places like Home Depot and Lowe's, they're gonna help you load that stuff anyway. So think about that. Like that's like another way, guys. The possibilities are endless when it comes to actually just with your vans alone. Now I will talk about this other thing on a different video, like where you could actually do like moving people from apartment to apartment, home to apartment, or apartment to home. You know, people move all the time. People move into the city all the time. You could be doing local moves, you could be doing long distance moves. And when it comes to advertising, Craigslist, your website. The very first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna check out your website. Make sure each job you're posting some pictures. Have an Instagram account. Take pictures of what you're doing, that job site or whatever like you're working on, and have some nice pictures of you delivering it. Have a nice Instagram, you know, thing, because it's sort of like it's your it is your portfolio with pictures. Your website is your portfolio. Your business card is your portfolio. Make sure you're very neat when it comes to that. Make sure you treat your business as a business and wear some kind of uniform, and you know, just treat it all together as a business, guys. I mean, it's really important, and it is important to grow your business. You want to take yourself out of the delivery to having you know, a bunch of helpers. And the cool thing about it is you're gonna hire a helper. That helper is gonna learn what it takes for him to load that van. So then you take yourself out of the equation. That's why I said make sure you cover the cost per hour. You have taken yourself out of that equation. Now you charge another helper, get another helper. Now they're both wearing your uniforms. You're in the office and they're loading your van, they're driving with your van, and now you're thinking, okay, so now I gotta do something that's actually making me money. So now you're making more phone calls. You may be doing some visits. Maybe you're gonna drive your personal car to another potential client, and you're gonna talk to the manager, shipping supervisors. You're gonna talk to them and gonna say, listen, we are right now, we have been in business for like, let's say like for me, like 12 years. We have delivered for such and such. Right now we're delivering for such and such companies, and they like our service. Here's what they're saying about our service. Make sure like each customer you deliver to, you say, hey, listen, can you quickly just like, you know, even like, it would be nicer if you could have this on your own website where they could sign in and do that for you, but you probably could set up like a Google Maps business and have people comment over there. So can you please, you know, like go comment and leave us like a 5-star review, like for like Etsy, or like, yeah, like Etsy or something. Have them leave you like a review over there, or like Google Maps. And you could actually become a Google tour guide. I'm actually a Google tour guide, and I could add locations on the map that wasn't even there before. I've done that before for businesses for free. They don't even know that I do it. Come in there, take some nice pictures, post them. It gives me points. Doesn't really give me anything, but it gives me at least a way for me to be a little bit in control. Like I could actually put my own business on there if I wanted to, which I don't. I'm working a little bit differently. I'd rather not be discovered like where I am, but you know, that's not so easy for me now because people find me anyways. I have people literally sometimes pulling up to my home and they just want to meet me, and you know, it's sometimes it's a little bit weird because you don't know who's pulling in, and a lot of times if I'm not home, it freaks my wife out. You know, it's like, oh, somebody pulled up. But anyways, that's besides the point. So anyways, guys, I don't know how long I've been talking here because I'm literally looking at you, not looking at myself, because I'm looking at the camera. I don't have a screen to look at, which happens to be my iPhone camera. Like a lot of videos that I do is basically on my iPhone, even though I have other equipment. It's just so much easier. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Good luck with your business. If you have questions or you want me to make a video about some other business, let me know, because now that's what I do. And chances are, if I get a little bit busy, because I'm becoming a little bit busy, I'm gonna be maybe doing multiple uploads during the day. I hope that does not make you mad, but hopefully I'm bringing value with each upload. That is my goal, to bring value first, not just another video that's gonna annoy the crap out of you and you're like, I gotta watch this now. I want my videos to help people, whether it's business and making money, whether it's figuring out like how much money like you need to be spending in a business and what makes sense and how much you're losing or making, which making those videos and stuff, or how to design stuff, because the way I see stuff is like, hey, you could learn how to design, you could now like be making more money with designing something for somebody. So I'm looking at everything. If it interests me and I know how to do it, might as well do that video, and you could thank me later because maybe it's going to change a career for somebody. I'm getting those emails every day from people that's telling me thank you, and emails now in Instagram, Facebook, and lots of YouTube comments, and I appreciate you guys. So that gives me an idea to go further and make more videos for you guys. That's my goal, just to fill the need, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you for watching, guys. Take care of yourself, and God bless you. Bye bye. Good luck. My name is Serge Zimaleta. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprinter, Expedite, or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.